Does your indoor cat stare at the door sometimes and you feel that quiet guilt? Like maybe you are keeping them from something they need? Most owners carry that feeling for years, but the research says something completely different. And by point 5 in this video, that guilt will be gone for good. Stay for that last one. It might also save your cat's life. Point 1, the lifespan. Here's the question almost every indoor cat owner has asked at some point. Am I really doing the right thing keeping them inside? Here is the answer. Indoor cats regularly live between 12 and 18 years. Many reach their 20s. For cats with regular outdoor access, reliable lifespan statistics simply do not exist. And the reason why is the disturbing part. So many outdoor cats disappear that their deaths never get recorded. No vet visit, no cause of death. Just an empty bowl and a question that never gets answered. If you want to understand what the outside world actually does to a cat, look at what happens to the ones who live in it without anyone caring for them. Stray and feral cats often survive only 2 to 5 years. Same species, same instincts. The only difference is a door. Outside, your cat is not the apex predator they believe themselves to be. To a car at night, they are invisible. To a coyote or a loose dog, they are prey. To a tick, a flea, or a cat carrying feline leukemia, they are simply the next host. Antifreeze tastes sweet to cats and is lethal in tiny amounts. Rat poison hides in places you will never find. Territorial fights leave wounds that turn serious before anyone notices. Here is what gets me. None of these dangers announce themselves. An outdoor cat does not get a warning. One evening they simply do not come home, and the owner spends years not knowing what happened. Your cat will never be that story. Every single one of those threats you have already removed from their life, not by luck, by a decision you make every single day, every time you close that door. Not a limitation, a shield. Point 2, the myth. Here is the image most people carry when they feel guilty about keeping a cat inside. Rolling in grass, chasing something through a sun-drenched garden, wind in their fur, the whole world in front of them. That image is not your cat's dream. It is yours. You are imagining what freedom means to a human and placing it onto an animal whose brain is wired completely differently. So let us decode what a cat actually needs to feel genuinely content, because it is surprisingly specific. Research on feline behavioral needs identifies 3 core pillars of cat well-being: secure territory, predictable resources, and control over their environment. Notice what is not on that list: novelty, adventure, open horizons. Those are human cravings. To a cat, the unknown is not exciting. The unknown is a threat that has not introduced itself yet. That is why your cat treats a new grocery bag like a potential crime scene, and why moving the sofa 2 feet triggers a full forensic investigation. Now run the outdoors through those 3 pillars. Territory outside is never secure. It is contested every night by cats your cat has never agreed to share a neighborhood with. Resources out there are unpredictable by definition. And control? An outdoor cat controls almost nothing. Their stress hormones never fully switch off. Your home flips all 3. Their territory is undisputed. Resources arrive on a schedule from a large, reasonably well-trained mammal. That would be you. And control? They have memorized every surface, every hiding spot, every sunbeam's daily schedule down to the minute. When your cat picks the same windowsill at the same time every afternoon, that is not boredom you are watching. That is mastery. The grass and the butterflies, you can offer those on your terms. A screened window, a catio, a leash for the adventurous type. The point was never that outside has nothing to offer. It is that your cat never needed to risk their life to get the good parts. Has your indoor cat found a specific spot they return to every single day at the same time? Tell us in the comments. That routine is not nothing. It is your cat telling you their world feels safe enough to have one. Point 3, the bond. Have you ever noticed that your cat has a sound for everything? A sound for food, a sound for attention, a sound for 6 in the evening when they feel you should be doing something more interesting than reading, a sound that means I am watching you and I want you to know it. Here is something wild. Adult cats barely meow at each other. Meowing is a language they developed almost entirely for humans, and indoor cats become completely fluent in it. That is not an accident. That is what happens when you become the most interesting thing in their territory. An outdoor cat splits their social energy across an entire neighborhood. Rival cats to monitor, boarders to patrol, prey to track. Their human gets whatever focus is left over, which is why so many outdoor cats treat home like a hotel. Check in, eat, sleep, check out. Your indoor cat made a different investment. All of that social intelligence, the watching, the learning, the communicating, gets concentrated on you. Research on feline attachment, including studies from Oregon State University, found that most cats form genuine attachment bonds to their owners, much like young children do with caregivers, using that person as a safe base from which to explore the world and to which they return under stress. That bond gets its richest expression when you are the center of their world, not a stop along the patrol route. Here is the reframe worth sitting with. People say indoor cats depend on their humans like it is a flaw. But dependence in a relationship built on trust has another name. It is called closeness. And there is something that closeness makes possible, something practical, something important that an outdoor cat's owner can never access. I will show you exactly what that is in point 5. Point 4, the enrichment. This is the point the competitor video skipped, and it is the one you asked for. Knowing that your indoor cat is safer, healthier, and more bonded does not answer the practical question: how do you make sure their life inside is genuinely rich? The answer is not expensive. It is structured. Cats need 3 things to thrive indoors: something to hunt, something to climb, and something to watch. Something to hunt does not mean live prey. It means 15 minutes of active play every day with a wand toy that moves like something alive, unpredictably, at floor level, occasionally under a blanket. The hunt is what matters. The catch is the reward. Puzzle feeders and treat dispensing toys serve the same circuit. The goal is to make your cat work for at least part of their daily food. A brain that has to solve a problem is a brain that is not bored. Something to climb means vertical space. Cats feel safest when they can see the room from above. A cat tree near a window, shelves they can actually use, the top of a wardrobe cleared and accessible. Height is not a luxury for a cat. It is a biological need. Something to watch means a window with something worth watching. A bird feeder placed where your cat can see it from a comfortable position. A catio, if space allows, even a fish tank on a low surface. The brain of a hunter needs stimulus. A watched window is not passive entertainment. It is a shift, and if your cat came from outdoors, if they used to roam and now live inside, the transition needs patience and structure. Keep them in one room first with their scent already on the bedding. Expand their territory gradually, one room at a time, over days, not hours. Make the inside interesting before you close the last door. The hunt, the climb, the window, in that order. A cat who never discovers what is on the other side of a door they cannot open is not deprived. They are simply living in a world that never required them to be afraid. Point 5, the routine as medicine. Here is something almost no one talks about when it comes to indoor cats, and it is hiding in plain sight. Research on feline stress and cortisol regulation confirms that predictable daily routines measurably reduce chronic stress indicators in domestic cats. Not occasionally, consistently. Your cat's nervous system is not just comforted by your predictability, it literally calibrates itself around it. The time you wake up, the time you sit down in the evening, the sound of your keys, the specific way your footsteps sound when you are coming home versus leaving. Your indoor cat has memorized all of it and built their entire sense of safety around the expectation that it will happen again tomorrow. Outdoor cats never have this. Their environment shifts constantly. Weather, territory disputes, predators, traffic, every day brings variables they cannot predict or control. Their stress response never fully switches off because it cannot afford to. Your cat's stress response switches off because of you, because you show up, because the bowl appears at the same time, because the evening unfolds the way it always does, because you are the most stable variable in a world that could otherwise be unpredictable. That is not a small thing. That is biological medicine, delivered daily by your routine without you even realizing it. Think about the last week. Were there days when your routine changed significantly? Late nights, unusual schedules, visitors? Did your cat behave differently? Tell us in the comments. That connection is more direct than most owners ever realize. Point 6, the hidden signal. And here's the one that matters most. The one I want you to remember. Your cat will never tell you when something hurts. Not because they do not trust you, because they physically cannot bring themselves to show it. Here is the wiring behind it. Cats evolved as both predator and prey. In the wild, an animal that shows weakness becomes a target. So, cats developed one of the most powerful survival instincts in nature. Hide your pain, mask it, act normal until you physically cannot anymore. Ask any veterinarian what makes feline medicine genuinely difficult, and they will tell you the same thing. By the time a cat acts sick, the illness has often been there for months, sometimes years. It is not a decision your cat makes, it is an instinct older than their species, and it works against them every single day of their life. Now, here is what no one frames this way. The earliest warning signs of the conditions that most often take cats from us, kidney disease, diabetes, hyperthyroidism, urinary blockages, do not show up in how a cat acts. They show up in the small, boring details of daily life. Drinking more water than usual, bigger clumps in the litter box, or more of them, leaving food in the bowl, going to the litter box and producing nothing, which is an emergency, a new sleeping spot, eating the same amount but slowly losing weight. An outdoor cat's owner never sees any of it. Their cat drinks from puddles, uses gardens 3 houses down, vomits under a hedge, and walks it off. Every clue is scattered across a neighborhood. The instinct that works against that cat stays hidden because the evidence disappears with them. Your indoor cat cannot hide from you. Every clue lands somewhere you can see it. That litter box you scoop every day is not a chore. It is a medical chart. That water bowl is a daily diagnostic you run without realizing it. You notice changes in days that an outdoor cat's owner would miss for months. And with these conditions, months are often the entire difference between a disease you manage for years and a goodbye that comes too soon. Think about the last time your cat did something small that seemed slightly off, a new spot, less enthusiasm at the bowl, one more trip to the litter box. Did you notice? Tell us in the comments, because learning to read those small signals is one of the most important things an indoor cat owner can do. Your cat cannot ask you for help, but they live somewhere where every signal they send can reach you. That is not a cage. That is a lifeline. And you built it for them one closed door at a time. And if you want to understand what your cat is actually communicating in those quiet daily moments, the signals most owners walk past every single day without recognizing them for what they are, that is exactly what the next video is about. It is on your screen right now.